Hello, welcome. I am creating this video for those of you that are considering having a quantum healing session. I just want to give you a few tips and just go over a quick summary on what you can expect from having a session. And of course, at any point, if you're considering having a session and you have specific questions, you can always email me, and I can also set up a time where we can chat by phone. So that is completely normal and welcomed as well. So when preparing for a quantum healing session, one of the main things that I think people consider, there's actually a few things, but one of the main things is, will it work for me? You know, there's a lot of misinformation around hypnosis. And so, people aren't sure how this will apply for them. Is it appropriate for them? Is it something that they feel will be effective for them? And hypnosis was actually at the beginning of Western therapy. So it's something that has been widely researched and used. And then over time, there were more dogmas and stigmas attached to it. And, I would argue respectfully that sometimes when things can be really effective without pharmaceuticals, that type of thing, sometimes it's frowned upon. And it really is a way of raising your level of awareness and consciousness. I feel like it's a way for you to be more in line with your true essence. And so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to create this video, just to give you some information around that. So hypnosis is basically a technique that allows the body to relax. So, using visualization and relaxation techniques, sound healing, to help the body relax, because once the body is in this more relaxed state, the mind, the brain waves slow down and the subconscious mind comes forward, which is like the mainframe of the mind. And that mainframe of the mind is where 90 to 95% of the brain or the mind's power lives. And that's why hypnosis can be so effective. Now, just in terms of practical, ways to prepare, on my website, there's a list that I'm just kind of summarizing here. But essentially, you want to come to the session with questions. And those questions can range from, relationship questions, health, spiritual questions. Sometimes people have mystical experiences or dreams that kind of leave them curious. And so those are some, questions or areas that people are interested in. You can also ask questions about your life purpose and your career and money. There really isn't a limit to what you can ask in a quantum healing session. And I'm going to back up a little bit and go over the format of the hypnosis session so that you can understand where these questions, how that will fit into your hypnosis session. So if you were to come in, we would spend the first portion of our time chatting. The sessions, depending, can range anywhere from about 3.5 to 5 hours, depending upon what comes up in the session. Some people like to really talk and have a lot to say. Other people, you can sense that they really just want to get into it. So it really varies. And I really just respond and go with the flow on how the client is responding to the session. So 3.5 to 5 hours. So the first portion, we just spend chatting, getting to know each other, getting to know who you are and how did you end up in the place that you were, maybe some of your family background, relationship info, just what you feel are highlights of your life. So we just spend some time talking about that. And then I spend some time going over what to actually expect in the session. As an example, I tell all of my clients, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to try to create anything. You don't have to force anything. Really, the key and the magic to hypnosis is allowing, just literally allowing and being patient and waiting for information to surface. And most people find that a hypnosis session it almost feels like a daydream. It's almost like your mind is multitasking. It's almost like, you know that you're in the room with me, and then there's other information coming in. And the other information can come in via our senses, and everyone's different. So some people have a very visual experience. Other people just have a knowing or a sense of information coming in. They hear it. They just know. So everyone experiences it differently. So even if you don't feel like you're this very visual person, you don't have to worry about that. The beauty of this session is that no matter your makeup and the way that you perceive information, the information is going to come through in a way that is perfect for you. So we talk a little bit about the science around hypnosis and what to expect. And then we take a break, and then we go into the hypnosis portion. And then that usually lasts around 2 hours. So if you're local, then you come into my office. I have a bed that you lie down in. And the reason that many practitioners use a bed is because we're replicating sleep time. So it's like the point right before going to sleep, the point right before waking up in the morning. And it's almost like when you lie down, your body just naturally tends to relax. And so that's the reason that we do that. And then if you're at home, you can choose to, be on a recliner, be in your bed. Some people lie on the floor. It really is a matter of your own preference. So then after the hypnosis portion, then we debrief. We kind of just go over and summarize the session. Some people have a lot to say. Other people are processing, they're still kind of like, wow, I can't believe this came up or whatever. So the point is, again, it depends how much someone wants to talk. I always offer people, any, opportunities. They can always call me or email me to basically, just discuss anything that has come up during the session. And, another thing is that each hypnosis session is different and perfect for the individual. So each person has a part of themselves, and some people call it the God self, their higher self, inner wisdom, the soul aspect. It's basically the part of you that is has a wider perspective on your life. So, from my understanding, it's like we're here on earth, we're human, we're in this physical form, and then there's a part of us that, and I would argue that it's the true essence of ourselves, our soul. And so that part of ourselves that's connected or part of creator, source, the universe, that part of ourself is going to guide the session. So some sessions are very mystical. Some clients have been in touch with guides or angels or goddesses, ETs, people who have transitioned. And then other people don't experience any of that. Some people just need to process emotional stuff or trauma that they have stored in the body. And so, even though hypnosis can be an unknown and that can be a little bit scary for people, the unknown, every session is perfect. So you're never going to be confronted with something that is overwhelming or too scary. So even for people who have to process really heavy stuff, it's always in a safe way, and it's never in a way that overwhelms anyone or re-traumatizes anyone or opens these old wounds, and then you leave the session feeling more vulnerable than you came in. It's always perfect for the person, and that's why it's my job as a facilitator to bring forward the techniques that I've learned, and also to be very present and just respond to what's coming up and respond to each client individually. And I've been trained in Dolores Cannon's method, which is QHHT or quantum healing hypnosis. I've also been trained by Candace Goldman Crawl. She created a course beyond quantum healing. And then I've also taken a traditional hypnosis course, among others. So I actually bring forward to each session a variety of modalities, and I incorporate all of that appropriately depending upon the client. So I also bring in certain shamanic or indigenous practices with sound healing before we get into the hypnosis, like with tuning forks and rattle and sage and palo santo and agua florida. So these are ways to help prepare the body to kind of clear away anything that may be blocking a person, and it kind of helps us transition into your inner self. In terms of the day of the session, I always tell people to, or again, it's on my website, if you're a coffee drinker, maybe drink a cup of coffee, but try to limit your caffeine intake. See if you can get a little bit of exercise or take a walk or maybe some sort of movement. To spend some time, in the days before in a kind of an introspective place, thinking about your questions, getting clear about what you expect from this session, journaling or meditation, those types of things. I also tell people to wear comfortable clothing because you'll be lying down. So, something that's, again, that you're comfortable in. And also the session is recorded. So there's an audio recording if we're in person. And then if you meet me online via Zoom, then I will send you a private YouTube link with our session where only those that have the link can view it. So those are just some of the tips and basic information around having a session with me. I enjoy this work thoroughly. It's fascinating. I learn something every time. And I love the time that I spend with people. It's really beautiful to see people being able to let go of some things that they've held on to or experienced breakthroughs. It's really fulfilling. And I love what I do. And I'm really, really glad to be here. So yes, I look forward to meeting those that are interested in having a session. I also, again, welcome any questions whatsoever. And I look forward to seeing many more of you. Take care. Bye.